If you are planning to start your home daycare, one of the biggest questions you'll be asking is, how do I set up my space? Do I need a dedicated playroom? Do I buy expensive toys? What should I buy first? So the truth is that setting up a daycare isn't about buying the most expensive toys. It's about creating an environment where the children can learn, can explore, and can play. So in this video, I will walk you through the essential learning areas that every home daycare should have, and what materials you should include in each one, and how to also set up your space without wasting money. So if you are new here, my name is Temi. I'm a licensed home daycare provider, and I'm also an early childhood educator. So on this channel, I share practical tips on how to help you start and run a successful home daycare. So let's get started. Before you buy anything and before you start shopping, I want you to think differently. Don't let toys be the first thing to come to your mind. Think of, what experiences do I want these children to learn? That should be the first question. What do I want them to experience in my daycare? What do I want the children in my care to learn? So once you are able to answer that question, choosing materials becomes much more easier. So instead of filling your daycare with random toys, you create learning areas, and each learning area encourages a different type of development, and together they create a balanced learning environment. So the learning areas would help you to create a balanced learning environment, and there are 10 of them. So let's go through them one by one. So the first one is dramatic play. This is the dramatic area. This is where children pretend. I know children pretend to be different things: parents, chefs, doctors, firefighters, teachers, veterinarians, and so much more. So through pretend play, what happens? They develop their language, they develop creativity, they develop problem solving, they develop confidence, they develop social skills. So some of the materials you can include in your play area is a play kitchen. You can have a play kitchen, play food, play pots and pans, dolls, doll accessories, even dress up clothes, toy telephones, things that can help these children to pretend. You can have mirrors, and you don't need to buy everything at once. Just start with the basics and add more as your daycare crew. This dramatic play area is a wonderful addition to your daycare. Now the second one is the fine motor area. Fine motor activities are activities that strengthen the small muscles in the children's hands, because their fingers, they will use them to write, they will use them to draw, they use them to button their shirts. So we need to strengthen those small muscles in their hands. And some of the great materials you can have are shape sorters, stacking toys, puzzles, pegboards, large beads. So you offer a variety of materials so that the children can develop different skills and also have fun at the same time. Now the third area is the creative art area. Every daycare should have a space where the children can create. It's not about making perfect craft, but it's about giving the children opportunities for them to express themselves. So you need to keep this area with simple materials like paper, coloring pencils, crayons, markers, glue, even paint, for them to express themselves, to be able to do different types of things with their imaginations and create. You can add Play-Doh, you can add collage materials, and remember that the process is more important than the final product. You should be more concerned with the process it's taking them to create these things than their final product. Now the fourth area is block area. Now the block area is one of the best investments you can make in your daycare. They may look simple, but the children are learning so much while they are building something. They are exploring balance, they are solving problems, they are being creative. Even engineering, math, and teamwork are even involved in this block building, right? So to make block play even more exciting, you can add accessories. You can even add toy cars, materials, people, just to expand their imagination, expand on their knowledge. You can add road signs, you can add trees, ramps. Block area is a very, very important area in the daycare. Even ramps, loose parts, and these simple additions can encourage the children to even build stories. So as they are building structures, they are also creating stories, and it's going to be so much fun. Now the fifth area is the reading and literacy area. Every daycare needs a quiet space for books, a quiet, cozy corner where they can sit comfortably with their books, children. And for the books, you can choose different topics. You can choose topics on animals, topics on families, natures, feelings, culture. And by the time you do this, you are creating a love for books, a love for reading, and it will really, really help them a lot, even in their future. You also build their language, their imagination. You also help them to build a lifelong love for books. Another area that's also very important is the science and discovery area. You know, children are naturally curious. They're always asking questions. What's that? Why this? Why that? So the science area would encourage them to be able to ask questions and to be able to explore the world around them. You don't even need any expensive equipment. You can even go outside. You can pick things in nature. You can even get things around like leaves, rocks, pine cones, plants. You can get magnifying glasses, you can get magnets. These things will build their curiosity. And I also want to mention that all these things I'm mentioning should be at an height where the children can reach by themselves. Also, you can get weather charts, you can get nature books. All these items can spark wonderful conversations and discoveries. You'll be amazed at how much children learn fast. Then math and numbers. So math is not just about worksheets. Children can learn math through play. You can include materials that can encourage them to count, to sort, to measure, to match, and to recognize patterns. You can get counting beads, you can get sorting trays, pattern blocks, shapes, dominoes, things that can encourage their math skills, measuring cups. And children build early math skills even while they are playing. So it's like they are learning math and they are playing at the same time. Now the eighth one is the sensory area. The sensory area is very great. You can get a sensory table. You can get kinetic sand that will help them to play with water. You can put the water table outside. You can even play with the water inside, right? So whether sand or water or kinetic sand or coloring, and you can be so creative with it. You can also get bucket funnels, measuring cups, sponges, even boards, shelves. And you know, the sensory play is great. They also learn about the texture and a lot of things, and it will spark their imagination. And do you know that sensory experiences can keep the children engaged for a very long period of time, and at the same time it would also support their development. Now the ninth area is music and development. Music brings so much joy to the daycare. You can have simple instruments like drums, tambourines, and you can even get some musical instruments. You can get microphones, you can get things that will help them dance, things that will make them move. You know, children love to move, and music, they can play games, can play musical chairs and a lot of things. Music supports language. It also helps them with coordination, helps them with their listening skills, and it also encourages self-expression. Now the last area is the gross motor area. Don't forget, like I said previously, children love to move. They just love to run around. Children don't just love to sit in one place, but they love to move, whether indoors or outdoors. You need to make space for active play. So depending on your daycare, you can get balls, ride-on toys, you can get push toys, toys that will make them move. You can even get climbing equipment, slides outdoors, and you know, things that will help them to move. So the gross motor movement will build their muscles, make them to move strong, because movement is also an essential part of healthy child development. Now, to summarize everything I've said, I would like to say keep it simple. You don't need any complications. So one mistake new providers try to make is they try to buy everything before they open. You don't have to do that. Just start with the essential ones, and basically you need to observe the children. This is very important. You need to observe the children, learn what interests them, find out what they are interested in, and you can gradually add materials based on their interests and their developmental needs. And at the same time, you don't need to put all the toys together at once. And did you know that children get excited when you've taking some materials away, then suddenly they reappear. They'll get, wow, you brought these toys back. So it will also make them excited at the same time. So it also will keep your daycare organized, rotate toys, but you don't need so many toys, but you just need the appropriate toys for their development. And you have to set up your space such that it's not too complicated. Focus on creating different learning areas rather than buying endless toys. Before you buy any toy, ask yourself, what am I going to achieve with this? What do I hope the children will learn as a result of this toy, as a result of this equipment or this thing I have bought? So setting up your daycare is great, but most importantly, you need to focus on the needs of the children, their interests, and what they are excited about. And it's not about the toys, it's about the learning and the experience that they will get from it. So this brings me to the end of my video. If you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so, and I'll see you in the next one. In my next video, I'll be posting a video on how to set up your daycare policies and get you all ready to start your own daycare. I'll see you in the next one.